be conceived as of life, not a preparation for life.
Whenever school curriculums are designed, we want to ensure that the history doesn't have a Eurocentric approach, that it should be much wider. We must look at examples in various parts of the world of contribution that people have made and bring that as part of their education process in this country. Nothing but enrichment can come about when people can realize it's not just United Kingdom, it's not just Britain. There are other parts of the world which can contribute so much to people's understanding.
It's got a massive band that can be used in any curriculum for children.
Perhaps included as one of the books one takes for, I don't know, for example, O-levels. Because I remember in my days in O-levels we had to take some play which used to be mainly Shakespearean. So I see no reason why Tagore shouldn't be included in that list.
Tagore's work is quite appropriate for school level. So they could easily do some workshops in schools.
The whole purpose of education is to expand your knowledge. So children they're obviously, I can't expect, or you wouldn't say that, you know, that they simply should learn Welsh history or English history or French history. They should know about the world, they know about the other history.
I think one of the things we must remember that we live in a multiracial, multicultural society. And as part of that particular process, it is not just people who are born in this country who are English. There are a lot of other people from various parts of the world who have settled here. And I think it's important for these people to understand the values that Tagore actually attached to the process of education. How do you bring that within the curriculum so that the Muslims, so that the Africans, the Afro-Caribbeans and other parts of the world, people who are settled here, could actually understand the philosophy behind what we are trying to do in the process of education.
When I was in primary school, I mean, I used to just say it to them. I didn't read from the book, really. And it was quite amazing to see those little eyes looking at me, and when I described that little girl who loved the postmaster because he used to give, you know, a letter, he used to work there, she adored him and wanted to work for him because she wanted to learn to read and write as well.
Tagore songs, they always can be popular. I mean, I have taught children Tagore songs, dance to Tagore songs, and they really enjoy them.
There should be more translation, there should be more research on his other side as well, you know, his political contribution, his social contribution. Education, for example, education, he had wonderful ideas on education. That's another thing, you know, Dartington Hall was created based on Tagore's philosophy.
And I think the skills that I learned from the dance equipped me for life later on, because it gave me very good organisation skills. It showed me how to deal with people, lots of things, learning things at the last minute and then having to go in front of people and do it. I enjoyed it for many reasons.
Well, certainly our experience of it was that we really enjoyed it, and you know, you learn lessons on the way.
If we introduce his work through the dance form or through the dance shows, that would be the most effective way of introducing Tagore or many other writers or artists from the subcontinent.
Dance form is something which has a direct impact on the senses of a child or a teenager. So at that level, of course, dance form is the best.
If you see it in dancing form or in drama form, dance drama form, I think people will be more interested and they will get the message sooner than reading the book.
For the assembly, I used to teach them little movements on Tagore dances.
Really enjoying the dance, you then realize that you are also enjoying the music behind it, and then you get interested in the lyrics.
I used Bengali songs. They came to know another language and how it sang. And they were really very interested and they danced and they enjoyed it.
I definitely think I was the first one, simply because 1956, when I came here, and was asked to do dancing. There wasn't anybody at that time.
1962 আমরা যখন ইউরোপ গেলাম, ইউরোপ আমেরিকা খুব লং ট্যুর, ইংল্যান্ডে দেশও দিয়েছি, তারপরে আরো কোথায় দিলাম, ওই বাপরে মনে পড়ছে না, লিভারপুলে দিয়েছি। Same reaction. I mean, no language spoken, but the way it was presented, the showmanship of Uday Shankar, that how to present a show. It is not just dance. You have to get into the hearts of the public.
Obviously, you know, the number of very well-known people were involved at that time in Tagorean functions, and Tagore did a number of events in UK, in London, in UK, involving, you know, a number of artists. So that is how it started. And I think that, although I didn't know at that time, but it was going with a full strength.
Plus, opening day, আপনার যে ছড়িয়ে ছাত্রছাত্রী আছে বিভিন্ন দেশে, তাদেরকে নিয়ে একটা অনুষ্ঠান আপনাকে প্রথম দিন ওপেনিং দিতে আপনাকে কোরিওগ্রাফ করতে হবে। সেটা নিয়ে প্রায় 150 জন মতো আমার মনে আছে, আর কম হতে পারে, কিছু বেশি হতে পারে। আকাশ বড় সূর্যটা আমি কম্পোজিশন করি।
I belong to Prantik, a music school run by Mr. Jayanta Chatterjee, who is a renowned Rabindra Sangeet singer. Our school, Prantik, has performed Shapmochon, and it has been done in Commonwealth Institute, and where dancers Ashit Chatterjee and Alokananda Roy from Kolkata and Piali and her group, Sampath group, they took part in Shapmochon. And the singers, we were the singers, and Bani Thakur from Kolkata, she was as well one of the singers.
In several places, wherever there are birthday celebrations, Tagore's celebrations, I had been invited. I can remember the places, Manchester University, Grimsby, Mansfield, Glasgow, Oxford, even Copenhagen. We went to do some programs. And London, Nehru Centre, all that. Several places, I can't even remember how many places we went.
When I started, it was not only a singing group, I started it as a dancing group too. So Krishna, who was a Manipuri dancer actually, so she said, oh Pampadi, if you sing for me, I can teach the dances. And that is that because we combine the dance and the music, Tagore songs together, we thought it would be appropriate to call it Nupur because Sangeet, which is songs, it means the combination of the percussion and rhythm.
Tagore Center is not concentrating on the Indian culture or only the Indian people. When we started the Tagore Center, it was for the mainstream audience. It's for the Western audience. That was the whole idea of setting up the Tagore Center.
I came to England late 1974 and remained homemaker for a long time. And when my daughter was young, I wanted her to be engaged in cultural matter, and I visited Sangeet school in Gold's Green. There is one Gaurika Gupta, she knew me as a dancer, so I promised to visit her, and I went there one day in late 79 along with my little girl. She asked me to dance, and I performed, and straight away she requested me to teach, and I became an honorary teacher. Among the first students, the names are Tanika Gupta, Jhum, Goparoy. Other girls then came, some Tagore dances they asked me to prepare, so I taught Lynette and all these girls. Most interesting thing is that I started teaching my daughter also, and the first dance I remember I taught some little girls along with her was Tanika, a little girl, barely 3-4 years old. And what I did, I dramatized one song which had different characters like leaf, flower, moon, or the wind, and they thoroughly enjoyed and they performed in Belsize Park, puja celebration.
I learned how to dance mainly through Tagore's dance. The first dance I ever did on stage was when I was 4 years old, and I played a leaf. My mother was the choreographer, and I remember going on stage, and that was the first contact I had with Tagore. I learned initially through Gorika Mashi's school, where my mother was a teacher, but then after that, my mother started to do her own productions. When we did the big productions, like Chitrangada, the first time I did was through Gorika Mashi's school when I played Modon, and I was 9 years old. And Ma was Chitrangada, I remember.
My first Tagore dance was in the Unitarian Church Hall that I performed for the Tagoreans. Apart from my own productions that I started from 1986, I taught, directed, and performed for many other organizations like the Tagoreans, Shamali Basu, and also for Bhavan, and Basildon, where I used to teach classical dance.
Shama, I talked about, which was my very first. There I had to work with many people, with both Goidikadi and Bitikadi. So those couple of dances which I was supposed to do, she taught me the steps, and in my hotel room in the evening I used to do my own rehearsals, and then obviously the weekends they used to get corrected. So in fact for this particular one, because there was very little interaction with the other participants, so I don't know much about the others.
We have few names that we should mention here, is like person like Raka Mukhopadhyay Abchandam, Parvati, Arati Sengupta, and Arati Bhattacharya. She's a renowned singer, the late Dr. Manjusri Chaki Sarkar and her daughter Ranjavati Sarkar, who used to visit England and perform Tagore dance in a very innovative style. That style was martial art form and many other modern form along with the classical forms that was presented by the Tagore Center or in Commonwealth Institute. Unfortunately, the style was never picked up by anyone, and unfortunately both of them, the mother and daughter, passed away. So there is no trace of that style.
আজকে যদি 25-30 বছর আগের নাচের কথা বলেন, শুধু টেগোর ডান্সের ব্যাপারটা না, ইসলাম ধর্মে নাচ নিষিদ্ধ। এই কথাটি বলা হয়েছে, আমরা সেভাবেই জেনে বড় হয়েছি অনেকেই, কিন্তু এখন সেগুলো মানছে না, ছেলেমেয়েরা তা মানছে না। অনেকেই আমাদের বয়সী যারা লোক তারা এখন এখানে আমরা নাচ করাচ্ছি। আমার ব্যক্তিগতভাবে আমার দুটি মেয়ে, ওদেরকে আমি নাচ শিখিয়েছি।